looking at life expectancy, coming on for this vegan diet and different things like that, which is starting to lead on to, I found a tribe that had a vegan diet, and I've moved on from there. Now my video is going to be upside down when I finish this. And, whoops. So, what culture has the highest life expectancy? And it says, Monaco has the highest life expectancy in the world in 2023 according to the World Population Review, where locals live an average age of 87. Asian countries in the top 10 include Hong Kong, Japan and South Korea. And then I was looking further down and it said, further down, and I'm going to keep going down, that life expectancy is about being cold. That when you are in colder climates, you have a longer life expectancy. Okay, that search has gone now. I don't know why that has disappeared. So I'm going to go back one more and see if it was anywhere there. Okay, nope, it's gone. Why does taking cold baths and living in cold climates stop aging and help you live longer? Cold therapy for longevity. In fact, improves mood from cold showers or swimming may benefit for the most evidence in humans ultimately, blah, 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 blah. Cold therapy for boosting health in improving longevity. The theory suggests, so it's just a theory, cold exposure, a tool for healthy aging. And then when I was reading that, it also stated that why do you feel the cold more when you get older? And it also said that you have underlying health problems. So you should technically live longer when you get older because you feel the cold more because you have a reduced layer of fat. Hold on a second. But Monaco, was it? Monaco. Let's see what climate they have. What climate does Monaco have?
Temperate Mediterranean climate. According to Climate Change Knowledge Portal, World Bank, Monaco enjoys a temperate Mediterranean climate, characterized by hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters.
On another search I asked whether, I don't know, it wasn't actually in a search, it was in these little drop-down bits that you got. You know, where you can hit these little drop-down bits with all those answers and questions and answers. And it said that taking cold baths, cold showers, and just being cold all the time helps you live longer and it stops you from aging. Well, I don't think anything stops you from aging, personally. I think that you're gonna age, you're gonna age. But then when I asked the question, and I think it's all about quality questions, this is another thing from Tim that he taught me to understand. You've got to ask quality questions. But if you understand then that people live longer in hotter Mediterranean climates, are all these people in these countries taking cold baths, cold showers and freezing their nads off? Do you get what I mean? Are people getting, you know, this because they are hotter or colder? And it said the age. Another one was that if you were born in winter months, people that are born in winter months live longer than people that are born in hotter months. Do you see how the information everywhere is very conflicting, and it's such a storm to navigate it, to know which one is right? You know, I'm very sensitive to the cold. I don't like the cold, okay? I'm trying to learn to live with the cold, but it makes me feel, sluggish. I can't think properly. Some people like the cold and are able to think better when they're in the cold. Perhaps. But to me, personally, I just want to shut down, to be honest. What about you? I find that when I'm cold, I'm too busy focusing on shivering or trying to control that response. I don't have much fat on me as it is. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm not keen on cold, but when I've been to hotter climates, I found that it freed me. It oiled my joints, man. And, you know, if I'm going to live less because I'm in a hotter climate, and then I'm wondering whether it is the fact that you're living in a hot climate, or is it the food that you're now taking on? Is it not only the food, but it's also now the climate? Also, it's now the air quality. Now it's all of this. It's the type of seafood that you're eating. Are you keeping into more of a theme of a Mesolithic human being, as opposed to a modern veganized human being? And is it a factor of diet that if you are eating loads and store a lot of fat and become fat, cold is going to help you think more easily? You're going to be like, oh, this is pretty good. You're going to feel better because you have all those layers of fat. I'm not saying that you're fat, but if I build up my fat, I'm going to have so many layers of fat. So the cold is going to be a relief for me. But someone who is thin is like, oh, I love this heat, and someone who's built up their fat are like, oh, and they're going to die in that situation. I think it's how it works, isn't it? I know I've heard of the Iceman, and I've seen the Iceman taking those ice baths and stuff, and I respect you for that. But now come and meet the Heat Man, because I love the heat. I can stand the heat probably more than most people can. I can elevate my body temperature most of the time pulls out at about 34.4, give or take, on a thermometer. And if I use an infrared one, if I go for a walk and I'm really strutting off and I'm nervous or in a bit of a weird mode and a doctor takes it, it's going to read like it's high. They always say to me, it's a bit low. Are you? No, I'm alright, it's normal for me that. I'm reading a lower temperature. And what I find is I can deal with the heat a lot more than most people can. And most people who are bigger than me will love the cold, and I'm just like... So I think it's down to an individual. And I think that, me and you, I can sit there, and compared to me, you are, would you say, I am thinner than you are?
Yes, you are.
So, I don't know, arm size, let's say, yeah? And it's not being nasty or either way, you can accept that, I can accept that I am skinny.
Yes, you are, and I'm a woman as well, so even
You're a
if you
woman.
were not that skinny, I would have naturally more fat as well.
So, how would you class yourself against me? Bigger?
Yeah.
We have differences in the underskin. I can feel my muscle.
Yeah.
You have a layer of protection there. I don't have this. And
That's visible.
yeah, that's very visible. So, and me and you will notice that you'll pretend to work better in the cold, and you're like, whew, it's rather hot in here. Is anyone else hot? And I'm like, no, turn that thermostat up, man. Do you know what I mean? Or woman, or whatever, So, I think it's down on individual preference on this one. And then it's about what we eat. We like different foods. Me and you will eat different stuff. Simple as. And I've tried to eat the food that you eat, and I just don't get on with it. It don't sit well for me. And you've tried eating the food that I like, and you're just kind of like, not for me. You like it and compliment it, but it's just not for you. So, I think it's a bold statement to state that the cold will stop you from aging. Because if I am skinny and lack that layer of fat that shields you from the cold, then I'm going to love the heat. And if I go and do the stuff that you do in that cold situation, I don't know, it doesn't work well for me. I start to lose circulation in my fingers, hands. I go white in my areas. Do you get what I mean? I start to get white. I don't know what that is. And then my veins feel like they're really sore on all my joints when I do that. So I've tried it. I've given it a go. But it's not for me. It makes me shut down. It slows my thinking process. I like to be hot. My thoughts like to flow that way. I like a comfortable temperature that's not too hot on the extreme of it, which is baking for you. And it's not too cold. It's not too hot and it's not too... I like somewhere around that happy medium. And I think that's where we should sit as human beings, is not preferenced on what someone else is saying or someone else. I think it's where you sit, where you feel comfortable. If you feel it, yeah, I feel alright like this. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm pretty good like this. Do you get what I mean? Because I mean, in the winter, there's no amount of layers of clothes that I can wear. If we could all wear layers of clothes and take on the coldness just by eating fat and different stuff like that and growing the layers, we wouldn't have houses. And then where did you travel from? Where have you traveled from in your family's history? Have you come from a hotter climate somewhere else in your history that you just don't know about? And they'll say, oh yeah, but we all came from Africa. hang on a minute. What's the climate like there? Well, it's like 40 or 50 degrees plus. Woo! Woo! That's the fucking that's hotter than that probably on you know, I probably read some news articles today that said that the temperature over the EU areas, Italy and stuff like that, are experiencing 40 degrees. I remember when it was 45 degrees when I went there around 2007, give or take, somewhere around that sort of time, and it was hot, but I enjoyed it. I was out there with the snakes and all of the sounds and the I could smell the olives and the grapes off of the vines, if you like. Oh man, there's just so many grapes, man. Can we eat these? Yeah, you can eat those. This is okay to... Yeah, go on. No one eats them. Really? I feel bad. No, go on. Eat as much as you can. It was good using both my hands, you know, not just one. But geez, I'll be using my feet at the same time. Do you know what I mean? They were that good. Pretty big grapes. And I felt pretty good. And the guy at the shop, he asked me, he said, oh, he goes, it's too hot. I'm going to shut the shop soon and I'm going to sleep. Why? No, this is too hot for me. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I think I had some consultant at the hospital say that I had cholinergic urticaria, which was just kind of like, I didn't feel this when I was in a hotter climate. Nah, it's probably cholinergic. I don't know whether that's reverse cold, but I think it means hot. I don't know. Do you know, and if I'm in a hot shower and I come out of the shower, that's when I get the problem. It feels cold, right? I feel cold when I get out of the shower. And oh, it's a bit cold in it. Then I start getting a reaction. And I've noticed with Litland as well. That's the same reaction there, but it's not in the water. It's not during the process. It's then when you come out of it. And I used to take a cold bath or something like that. I tried. No way, man. No, not doing that again. It sort of made my veins hurt. Is there any way I can explain it? They sort of like constricted. It felt like everything constricted. That was not a nice feeling. I didn't enjoy that. It sort of made me slow down in the mind. I didn't enjoy that. I don't call that a life, as far as I'm concerned, you know. So, no. If it was a free world, it literally was a free world, I would be leaving for a hotter climate. You've got to appreciate that, you know, where it's all round hot. But you won't live longer. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that is true. I think that if you eat a style where you fill up on fat, I think that yes, in hot climates, that is going to kill you. Likely being said that if you're skinny and you experience colder climates, that is also going to kill you. So I think we've got to be very careful that we're not all the frickin' same. We're not all one shoe fits everybody. Do you get what I mean? And then it's very tricky to say that because it could be, well, you're discriminating me. No, I'm trying to discriminate myself in this situation by trying to show you that, hey, how can we talk without discriminating one another in a way that has a practical conversation? Because you might then end up, everyone's getting treated exactly the same for things, but that shoe of Cinderella doesn't fit everybody. It's clear. Do you get what I mean? I think it was Cinderella. Is it that fairy tale? Maybe, whatever. But, you know, so I think that what works for one might not work for everybody. It works for some. And then you might have the ones on the other side that say they're also some. Doesn't make you any better. It just makes you being able to adapt with the realms on a different end of the spectrum that makes you one, because you can do things in the cold climate that we can do in a hot climate, and therefore when the two come together they basically stitch like DNA. Do you get what I mean? It's like a sort of the two worlds come together. Do you get what I mean? It's not about one being better than the other because one can do something different in a different... No, both have a purpose in that aspect. The land mass, could you imagine it if we were all the same? We would all sit on one part of the land. And everyone would all be hugging around the hot areas, you know? I just think we're a very long way from that as a species. We are so adapted that these changes have happened. I'm not sure where it sits for me. It's definitely more warmer, hotter. I deal with that more, and I'm more able to deal with that than I am a colder climate. And I think that someone with those layers that I don't have could probably deal more with a colder climate. Like, me and my friend were talking about this actually. He is bigger than me and he's taller than me, and I'm more skinnier than he is. And he's like, oh man, I got a tractor open when it's snow on the ground, and he's like trying to let it in and cool himself down. And me and him have this conversation. I think I actually should just meet up with him, rendezvous, because me and him have got no qualms with talking about straight how it is with one another. You are bigger and lankier than me. I am shorter and more skinny than you are. And we've both got this difference that, you know, we've forged quite a good friendship from that as well, to be honest. Our difference is that the opposites attract. Yeah, but it works well for one another. Do you know what I mean? It really works. But he's like, yeah, I was like, oh my days, I'm pretty damn chilly today. And he's like, nah mate. In the summer, he's like, it's a day for you, he goes. It's a day for you. And I was just like, yeah, this is not bad. This is pretty good. Can't stand it. Hate it. It's too up. And he really deals with it, but he'd rather sit in front of an AC. Like it was winter all the time. He's in this winter mode, and I'm more in the summer mode all the time. That's where I find I fit. I resonate with that. So I appreciate it for him. He thinks more. He's clearer thinking when it's more colder for him. He's definitely there for more clearer thought processes. And mine is more clearer thought process when it's hotter. I love to bake. I do. I love it. I swear now, man. When you have a look inside here, I'm going to look cooked. I'm definitely going to be cooked underneath this skin. Oh, ready for a good feast. But there you are. That was pretty savage. But at the same time, that's where I think I'm going to be at. So, and I haven't got any connotations with this to be a religious sense that maybe you came from hell. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Is heaven cold? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. No, I don't think so. You know, nah, it's got nothing to do with that. It's yeah, it's just the way we are, I think. So, you know, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Really. Would you like to live on Venus? Not sure the gases would support that, but how hot is it there? It's about this hot. Yeah, shinay, mate, shinay. Then I might be able to go and get some stuff. Let's just say there was oxygen on Venus, and there was oxygen on Mars, and there was oxygen on Earth. Earth being the Goldilocks zone, okay? Venus being a hothouse, and Mars being a fridge. Okay? The people that can deal with Mars would be able to collect the resources from Mars and bring it to Earth. And the people that could deal with the hothouse could go to Venus and collect all of the resources from Venus and also bring it to Earth. And then what have you got? Well, you got a happy medium on Earth that's even more happier and medium than you've ever thought of in your whole entire lives. Do you see what I mean? And some people would be really good at dealing with Europa, and other people would be really dealing with Mercury and different stuff like that. And therefore, this is where our benefits come. It's no good giving this to animals. What's a cat going to do on Mars if it needed to get resources? Oh, did something move? No, it didn't. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to bring you back anything, so they're adapted for the Earth. Humans have a very different purpose. Their adaptations need to be able to go and get things. If it's too hot here, well, you need these types of people without discriminating. I will stand up and say that I'm a hot lover. There you go. And I deal with the heat a lot more. And then someone else can say, oh, I can deal with the cold. I love the cold, you know. As one of my friends would say, I love that. I'm there. You know, see you when we get back. I want to get more than you bastard. Do you know what I mean? So it would be this sort of, our differences come together as one. And then you're still doing your thing, collecting the resources and different things like that, and be like, yeah, this was good. This is where it is. And then humans that adapt like that now have a bit more of a purpose. Well, you're going to need some people cooking up some stuff closer to the star. Shinay, me, pick me, I'll go there. And then you got some people that are going away to the more colder areas of space, and they're able to deal with that. And then it doesn't require more life support system in order to do both of the things. Do you get what I mean? Because you're more adapted to the heat. So when it's going to get hot, it's not too hot, but it's going to be hot enough in that suit. Yeah, no, that's good, I'll deal with that. And then the others will be like, it's going to be cold, but it's not going to be that cold, but it's going to be more cold. Yeah, I'm going for that as well, you know. Then you're going to have a real good, okay, this is sorted already, been sorted for the journey next. Do you see what I mean? So I think that we're all in this sort of, yeah, you know, and to be all one in the exact same one, I think there are lots of ones.
Yeah.
Yes, which then make multiple. Do you get what I mean? You're able to deal with different stuff and be able to collect a lot more. You're getting hot in here, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am getting passing water.
Yeah.
Since we are talking about cotton.
You see, to me, no, I'd say this is not hot enough. See, and you know, it's like, woo. It's my thermostat. No, it's my thermostat. No, it's my up, down, up, down. So yeah, no, I don't know. I don't even know where this little adventure is going, but it's definitely. Can we say that you live longer based on heat and cold? No. Can you say it based just on food alone? No. No, I don't think so. I think it's a mixture of finding what that balance is within you as an individual. And you might find that then, yeah, more people are adapted to the hot and more people are adapted to the cold, and yeah, you go. Yeah, do you see what I mean? And then you've got your next places to go picked out and already aligned, and the next journey begins. So, and even if we were to build a ship, there's going to be more hotter areas, hot spots, and cool spots. Isn't that just as well? Hot spot! And then someone else is going to like a cold spot. So, and I'm not sure this is being programmed into me, that I'm telling myself that I like the heat. Because if it is, I've been doing it since a kid. Do you see what I mean? And then it wouldn't make sense, because that's kind of a little bit odd to my family as a whole. So you know what I mean? So, you know, then I would have had to have... That would have been a lot of reprogramming from the rest of my family that like the coldness. Bit more cool. And then I would be basically saying to myself, I like the hot. I didn't like the cold that they had. It was too cold for me. So, are you wearing your freaking jumper? Yes, are you not? So that would be a lot to get through in all of that, to be fair. So, you know, yeah, I think we just have these little preferences. I think that we are, I don't know, next step. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there, because I think I don't want to waffle on too much about this, but wet winters, the average temperature is approximately 16 C and the seasonal amplitude less than 15. Here we go a lot below that. A lot less than that, let's say. Moderately cold, with a minimum temperature of 8 C. And the average temperature in winter is about 12. Still probably a little bit on the chill side to me, but that's more dealable.
But that's nice for Europe, isn't it?
It's not bad. So, yeah, I think there are benefits to the global changes of heat, and there are benefits to cooling. But yes, I'm going to leave this here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on a little journey with this one. Not sure why, but